Hey guys, Season 5 is finally starting today, and I wanted to share with you my Rogue starter build for the season, which is the Flurry Rogue. So I have already made this planner here on Mobalytics, and this time I also have actually two versions. So I have the endgame version as usual for level 100 characters, but this time I also have put down this leveling version, which I will also use exactly in the same way as you can find it here during my leveling process 1 to 100. And yeah, here you can pretty much find everything that you need. So you can just go to the skill tree and select this leveling path here, and then you can see what you have to skill in which order. So quite easy if you just want to copy that. And I also have made a Paragon board especially for leveling, which I will also follow. And here it's just important that you do not level any of these glyphs here. So in this Paragon board here, I have made the glyphs especially in the way where they function at level 1, because in the beginning you do not have any level glyphs. So I think it's quite important to have glyphs that just work at level 1. So everything in the setup here is just perfectly made up for this case here, where you can use it as a leveling Paragon board basically. So you do not have to level all of these glyphs, but instead what you do during the leveling phase is you level the glyphs you can find in the endgame version. So here we are playing with Kenny, Exploit, Fluidity, Control, Ambush and Combat. So you just level these glyphs while you use the Paragon board for from the leveling version, okay? So this is the optimal way. And once you reach level 100, you have to do this annoying thing of just reskilling your entire Paragon board. So I know it's annoying, maybe some of you don't want to do it, but I can highly recommend, because it will just increase your power level by a significant amount. So just take this 5 minutes of your time to reskill, and yeah, this is how it's supposed to work. And I can also show you this build in action. So this is gameplay from Pika Pau, if I spell it correctly. So he made this recording during the PTR and the Season 5 PTR, and here you can get an idea of Flurry Rogue in a Pit 101. So I have checked his gear already. He's not using the best gear in the world, but quite decent. But there's still potential to increase this damage by a lot. And so, in fact, I have made some calculations on my own during theory crafting, and I believe that Flurry Rogue, in the end game with some proper endgame gear, you will reach billions of damage, and yeah, you can just blast through every content basically. So in my opinion, Flurry is at least A tier, maybe even S tier compared to some other classes. So Rogue for me only has A tier or S tier builds this season. And yeah, I think Flurry is very, very powerful. It received many buffs during the recent patch. We have the skill buffed itself, we have some aspects buffed, we have a new aspect this season. So Flurry will be very powerful, and yeah, I expect to have a endgame version which deals billions of damage. So your number one goal is also finding a Starless Skies or crafting Starless Skies. So this unique will basically enable the endgame version. So I can recommend you to play the endgame version with only if you have Starless Skies, because otherwise it won't work as properly. But I think it's pretty easy to get one of these mythic uniques this season. They have buffed the drop rate chances from all tormented bosses, and also you will get some resplendent sparks again during this seasonal content. So I can maybe skip to the boss here a little bit. So you might wonder if Flurry is only good for AoE damage, but basically it's also kind of good versus single target, like bosses, just because the damage output is so high. And so yeah, you can see it's not a big problem at all. So yeah, Flurry Rogue pretty decent this season. And there's another reason why I think it's a very good starting build. So we again will have this seasonal journeys, let's call them sets. So during your progress of the seasonal journey, you will unlock some rewards which are class specific. So for the rogue, you will get this Flurry and Dark Shroud aspect sets. So I believe you will just have access to this, to both Flurry aspects and also the Umbrous aspect for Dark Shrouds. So you will get access to this very powerful aspects quite early on in the game. So as far as I remember correctly, in the last season, it only took me about 1 hour or something to progress through the seasonal journey, maybe 1 or 2 hours, and then I got access to all of these powerful rewards. So Flurry Rogue will be very powerful because you will just have very early access to this aspect. And I think you will just have a very good time during World Tier 2 and 3 and just blast through World Tier 4 quite quickly with the setup here. So I can highly recommend to start with Flurry Rogue this season. I think it's a lot of fun and will be also very powerful. And yeah, basically you're very good to go since you have acquired this both Flurry aspects, bandits, breakneck bandits aspect and encircling aspect. I've also mentioned some things here, so some uniques that you could equip during your leveling process if you are lucky enough to find them. And also here like Umbrous aspect. I'm not sure if we will get it, but it seems like it will also be part of the reward in the seasonal journey, so then you can also skill into Dark Shrouds a little bit earlier than I did it on my skill tree. It depends a little bit on the aspect, if we have it or not. So yeah, this is basically Flurry Rogue in Season 5. I will also make an update video once I have reached level 100. And then I will showcase you this endgame version. So one of the differences here is I will start with Shadow Imbuement for leveling, but I will switch to Cold Imbuement once I reach level 100 or find my Ring of Starless Skies and get this whole setup to work. And so the reason for that is Cold Imbuement is just more bursting damage. It's more powerful in the endgame. And we also have a bunch of new items here. We have the Crown of Lucion, which got nerfed, but still very powerful. I've made a video about that if you're interested in this, in the deep dive of the nerfed Lucion of Crown. Also, Shroud of Conjurers will be very fun to play, I think, with this pulling effect. So we have basically a Godslayer crown on our chest plate, which is kind of cool. We also have the Umbrix, which might be still bugged. So during PTR it was quite heavily bugged and it deals way too much damage than it should. And if that stays the same, then the Umbrix will also push the flurry damage by a very significant amount and it will be just crazy. So yeah, I will make an update video once I reach level 100. So if you're interested in rogue content, please leave me a like, write a comment, or subscribe to this channel to not miss any further guides that will come in Season 5. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I guess I see you in the next one, guys. Have a nice day, and bye bye.